Hello, hello. We are live. Hello, hello. We are live. Apologize for the little connection error here. My name is Frank Kramer. I'm the founder of Eat Like a Vegan Chef. And today I have changed my concept a little bit. I will be cooking a little bit more than usual. Um, so feel free to ask any questions if you have any. Today I will be cooking Taboule salad. I will be cooking a zucchini and tomato stew with black beans and a banana ice cream with warm blueberries. I hope you like it. Before I get there, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about myself. I think we have a new audience today, and the reason why I do this is I help people adopt um, a whole food, plant-based lifestyle so they can lose weight, they can feel better than ever before. And this is what I do. I try to help as many people as possible to get out of this rat race. As you know, diets don't work, and a whole food, plant-based diet is, I call it a lifestyle. It's not really a diet. Um, is really the only way to lose weight, to feel better, and it's the most sustainable way to live. Okay, before I get there, let me just post my comments. If you have any questions, uh, feel free to introduce yourself. And if you have any questions, you can mention them there. You can also say where you're from, so we all get to know each other. Um, Before I start cooking, I'd just like to talk a little bit about why I do what I do. Many people suffer from food addictions, and we don't even know about that. Um, I used to suffer from all kind of food addictions, from having sweets in the morning like Nutella and bread. Whew, I love that stuff, and it took me forever to get rid of that. So I think it's very important to analyze one's habits, and then you can move on in your diet and see what to address. So the reason I'm saying this is we as chefs, we have been trained to cook great food. So the customer comes to the restaurant, he comes, he's happy and he's getting a great meal. There's a magic to it. The magic is salt, sugar, acidity, and fat. That's the magic to it. Of course, the love what the chef puts into it counts as well, sure. But take one component out, and the whole dish falls apart. So basically, that makes my job much harder because I'm taking out one component, which is the oil or the fat, and I do not cook with animal products. So that is a major component which I'm taking out, um, since so many of us, and I used to be one of those, have been addicted to milk, to dairy, cheese, eggs, meat, steaks, chicken, fish, you name it. Um, it's just not sustainable to eat this on a regular basis. Imagine that the planet is going to grow to how many? 50. We are not able to feed the amount of people which we have in 2050, which is about 10 billion, I guess. That is not possible with our regular diet. So um, it is not sustainable. So from that point of view, I'd like to show the way I eat, so maybe you get inspired, and hopefully you will eat the same way and adopt this kind of lifestyle, which is also healthy, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to start with taboule salad, very simple salad. The reason why I chose taboule and zucchini stew and banana stew, banana ice cream, is these are very simple dishes, and the ones of you who are transitioning right now or will be transitioning, we usually cook on a weekend to get all our dishes done, and it's so much easier to cook for 3 or 4 days, so you don't have to scramble the day of when you have when you come home and you don't have any food. That's the last thing you want. Once you're transitioning from a regular diet, from if you're a meat eater, and then you transition, and one day you have no food, guess what? You are bound to eat something else, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to go to a restaurant and then eat a piece of chicken. That will ruin your entire input, your effort to do that. So that's why the taboule consists of onions, parsley, tomatoes, mint, and a little lemon juice. Obviously, I don't put olive oil in. I leave that out. And of course, burger, very important. But the star in taboule is parsley. So this is very important. Parsley is extremely healthy for you, has a lot of antioxidants, cancer-fighting properties. It's pretty cool. And the zucchini stew also has tomatoes in there. So, and I will explain why, because I can cross-utilize my ingredients, which makes it really cool. So I don't have too much waste. Okay, so let's get started. We have our bowl, and I add about half a cup of onions, finely chopped onions, and about 2 sprigs of green onions. Can you see that? Okay. Okay. Let me say hello to everyone before I start. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Hi, Adriana. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Jean. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my screen here. Hi, Justin. Hi, Daniel. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm also live on Instagram. Hi, Joel. Joel is here. Monique is there. I cannot see the other ones. But welcome to this edition of Cooking with Chef Ryan. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so for the taboule, I have about half a cup of chopped onions, fine onions. I used Vidalia onions. I just like them. I used 2 sprigs of green onions, finely chopped. Then I'm going to add tomatoes. These tomatoes, I have removed the flesh and the seeds from the inside. And these I have added, which is this here. Can you see that? This is going to be added to my zucchini stew, so there's no waste. I'm going to add this to the onions. I'm going to add the bulgur. The bulgur, can you see that? The bulgur, I cooked water, added the bulgur to it, and put it right away in the fridge and let it stand for 2 hours. That's why I prepared it already. Very, very simple. Once the bulgur has soaked up all the water, you want to squeeze the water out of it, so because you don't want any liquid left in there. Okay, and now the parsley. It's very finely chopped. Actually, I took it from my garden, and when I clipped it this morning, I had a caterpillar in there, a beautiful caterpillar. Of course, I put it back outside, but I sorry about that. But I just wanted to make sure that if you have fresh parsley, you look out for any critters which are in there. So usually in the restaurant, we get our herbs already cleaned, so I don't have to worry about it. We just start to chop. But here at home, just make sure that you check your parsley. That was Pretty cool. Okay. Another tip. I just wanted to show you. Usually mint goes into the taboule, and I want to show you. I had cut mint earlier, and it became black. So you don't want that. That's why I'm slicing it now, so the mint doesn't go black. Okay. We are adding the lemon juice, and I will post the recipe as soon as I'm done on Facebook and Instagram, so you have it ready. We'll mix all the ingredients. Can you see? It's a really, really refreshing salad. You don't have to add salt to it. You can. I know some of you don't want to go with salt. I just add a little bit of it to it. And just the colors alone are just so beautiful. And I want to show you what I do with my taboule. I've prepared my homemade bread. Is a walnut multigrain bread. I put guacamole on it, guacamole and hummus. And now I'm going to add my taboule right on top of it. Can you see? So that is actually what I usually have for breakfast or as a snack. So very simple. Okay, so now we're going over to the zucchini stew. We turn on the heat. We are going with high heat under a non-stick pan, or you can use a stainless steel pan if you have. Of course, as usual, no oil. We are going to saute the onions first. I have about one whole onion, which is chopped. I'll add this to the pan. I'm going to add my garlic as well. It's going to take a few seconds. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, post them in the comments. Let me just check. Just on your recommendation, I've been eliminating oil and processed vegan meats. I had a basic BMI and fit test the other day, and the results were impressive. Wow, nice, Justin. Excellent, excellent. So Justin is saying that he actually eliminated using oil in his cooking, and he is not cooking anymore with vegan meats. I know vegan meats are delicious, and sometimes, sometimes I eat them too, because it's just it's quick and easy, but you don't want to have it on a regular basis. It's something what you should avoid. It's processed food, and it's down the line, it's not good for your health. And because you're letting go of meat, but now you're eating a processed meat, which is not a whole food anymore. So you want to try to stay with whole food. So Justin, excellent. Congrats. Okay. Great. Okay. Hi, Claudine. Hi, Justin. We have another Justin here. If you eliminate oil, what can you use? Okay, I'm going to show you right now. The question is, what can I use instead of oil? Nothing. I use water. So actually, I use just plain old filtered water. I add a little bit to my onion. Can you see what I cook here? I'm going to bring it a little closer. And so I put my onions in here, my garlic, and I let it saute in a pan. And you will see once the water evaporates, the onions starting to caramelize. That's you just have to learn when the onion is starting to caramelize, and then you add your water to it. I added actually the water a little bit too early, but it doesn't matter. We don't want to we don't want the onions to get black, just slightly brown. I mean, slightly caramelized. That will intensify the flavor. And as I have always said, I add my vegetables one at a time. This will add layers of flavors to the food. So, okay, this is cooking. Hang on, check. Adriana is getting hungry. Great, excellent, excellent. Just need a large batch of dark veggie broth to saute. Excellent. Yes, Adriana, you can use vegetable broth too. Absolutely, absolutely. Is much better, but I find when I use water, I utilize the vegetables in the pan. So depending on what kind of vegetables I cook, I rather prefer water because I have only the flavors of the vegetables I cook. That's all. Okay, so the onions cooking away. And you see, as I mentioned before in my last cooking session, some of your questions were that your pan is always dark and black and it takes hours to clean them. You will see after this is done, there will be no black spots in here. And it's going to taste just as good, and it's way, way, way more healthier. Okay. Hi, Joel. Nice to see you. Hi, Brian. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, hi, branches and petals. Not Kopu joined. Hi, nice to see you. I'm so glad you joined. Thank you so much. So for those of you who just joined, I'm cooking today a Taboule salad. I'm cooking a zucchini and tomato stew with black beans. And I'm cooking a banana ice cream with warm blueberries. Okay, you see the onions cooking, and you hear, this is really the most important part of cooking without oil. Listen to how the onions are sauteing. And you can tell now it's getting a little brown here. Okay, you can see that. So that's the caramelization process. You want a little bit of that always, unless you make something in a white sauce or so. But a little bit of caramelization is always good. It makes it sweet. Obviously, caramelization is the sugar what comes out of the onions. Okay, so now I'm going to add my zucchinis. Okay, we can add a little bit of water to it. And for this one, I do have, I'll put this away here, parsley and fresh oregano from my garden. I'm going to chop this. It's not going to go in yet. I'm always putting the herbs towards the end. But I have a little time now. The zucchini is going to take a few minutes until they are cooked. Oregano, I don't know if you know oregano, very healthy herb. You just scrape off the leaves, just like that. And you leave the stem. The stem you can use in your vegetable broth if you cook them. Vegetable broth is actually, you can cook your vegetable broth from all the peelings you have when you peel potatoes, carrots, beets, You use all your parsley stems, your oregano stems, whatever basil stems. You can use all of that in a vegetable broth. You cook it, and you have a vitamin-rich broth. It's pretty cool because all the peelings, they actually have all the vitamins in there. So it's pretty good. Okay, my zucchini cooking away. Can you see? Any questions so far? Marcus Jung, hey, that's a colleague. He's a chef. Hi, Marcus. Nice to see you. I'm honored you're here. Thank you. Okay, just in case you haven't, I'm just going to repeat myself a little bit. I'm cooking a Taboule salad, which I did already. I'm cooking a zucchini and tomato stew with black beans, and a banana ice cream with the warm blueberries. So, and again, the reason why I cook those two dishes, they both have tomatoes, so I can cross-utilize those tomatoes. I'm going to add the tomatoes now to the zucchini. You can tell the zucchini are getting slightly soft, so add the tomatoes to it. Adding a little salt to it. You don't have to add salt. Salt. I add a little bit because my family is going to eat a little later, and they're still addicted to salt. So what can you do? Okay. Okay. So the reason I add the beans to my stew, this makes it a complete meal. So we have the starches in there, we have the protein in here, we have all the vitamins and minerals. This is a complete dish. You have the protein you need, the carbs you need, and believe it or not, even in tomatoes, even in zucchinis, even in herbs, you have fat. Not much, but you do have fat. So you don't have to worry that you don't get enough. There is enough oil and fat in almost all vegetables. Sometimes also in fruit. My stove is a little slow here, but we're moving on. Okay, any questions? Hi, Brian. Nice to see you again. Okay, let's see. Thank you so much for joining. Adriana, cheese bread addiction here. I hear you. This is one of the reasons why I do this. I was a vegetarian for 7 or 8 years before I became a vegan, and it's let's say I was a vegetarian by choice. I ate certain meats, but then I ate for weeks and months I didn't eat any meats before I became a vegan. But I couldn't let go of meat. To me, a slice of bread with some Gouda cheese was heaven, or a real piece of good cheese, camembert, whatever it is, and a glass of wine. Oh my goodness, I'm hooked. So very, very difficult to get out of dairy. There's a process to it, which I also teach in a course. The course is going to be published probably beginning of August, but I will let everyone know about it. There's a process how you actually get off of meat, get off of dairy and fish. And once you do that, there's a way to cook, because you don't want to remind yourself of those foods you used to love so much. In the beginning, yes, then you eat maybe those vegan sausages, but you want to let go of that. The more whole foods you eat, the better you will feel. And your doctor will tell you. My suggestion is, before you do or before you adopt a whole food plant-based diet, go to the doctor and check your blood levels of everything, cholesterol, your triglycerides, you know, the whole 9 yards. And then after transitioning, maybe after 3 or 4 or 5 months, go back to the doctor. I guarantee you that you wouldn't believe how your blood results are. When I used to transition, after about 6 months, I went back to the doctor. My cholesterol went from 200, it was about 250. It went down to 180. So it's just, and all my other blood levels were just perfect, right there where they're supposed to. My A1C was pretty low. I don't have to worry about those things. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of eating a whole food plant-based diet. You don't have to worry. Yes, sometimes you crave, and I have to be honest too. When I'm in the kitchen, I crave things, but that's a minute or two, and that's it. You get over it. Okay, good. So now I'm going to add. So you can see they have not broken down too much. They need to cook a little bit more, but I can add my beans to it, and I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of chili. I smell the chili and the cumin. Wow, beautiful. Herbs and spices is what makes our dishes, especially if we don't eat any dairy, don't eat steaks and stuff. Spices and herbs is what make our dish so important. So don't hesitate to, you know, try out different kind of herbs. Use it, whatever you have, use it and see if it tastes. If it doesn't taste, you will see. But the good thing is herbs are so healthy for you. You cannot go wrong here. Okay. Comments. Okay, let me see. Potato chips, stop the cheese. Stop the cheese now. I can't stop eating potato chips. Okay, I hear you, Jacqueline. That's our addiction. We go from one extreme to the other, and it might take some time to get rid of cheese or to get rid of chips or whatever it is. But then if we don't replace it with a good habit, we always going to ride on the same wave. So if you want to get rid of eating chips, you must replace it with something else very similar but healthy. So I would recommend eat kale chips. That's it. So instead of buying a whole bag of potato chips, get yourself some kale, dry it in your oven, put some salt over it, and that's it. You have kale chips. Or put it in your. I have an instant pot where you can actually dehydrate. This is pretty cool. You just chop your kale leaves, put them in there, dehydrate for a few hours, and then you have kale chips. Add a little seasoning on it, and that's it. That's how you replace one bad habit with a good one. But if you, so if you do it with something else, what's not healthy, you're riding the same wave over and over. Okay. Daniel is asking why eliminate olive oil if it's healthy. Okay, I agree that olive oil is one of the best oils you can have, but science has shown us that oil attacks our blood vessels. So it's all fats in the end harm our heart, and that's why I'm not cooking with oil. There's plenty of evidence now. Dr. Esselstyn, Dr. Campbell, Dr. Greger, Chef AJ, Dr. McDougall, all these doctors, you can look them up, and you will find that none of them will cook with oil, because they did studies about cooking with oil. And that's why your blood levels, when you go to the doctor, they're better. They are 100% better. And it's just, okay, we're getting along here. That's what I can say. It's oil is not good for you. It has the same detrimental effect as saturated fat. Maybe not as bad. You can definitely eat more olive oil than saturated fat, but in the end, it all harms. So that's all I can tell you. Let's see what else we have here. Looks delicious. Thank you, Martin. Just made a laugh. The dish you made earlier, you said was a regular breakfast for you. It looked delicious. Thank you. What was it again? Okay, I did slice of bread, homemade bread, some hummus, some guacamole on top, and then I just put on top of all of that, I put the taboule. Very simple. I love it. It's I eat obviously a few more of these. I love it. It's great, but it wouldn't harm to eat just the taboule, and you can eat it with a real salad. Very often I eat a salad in the morning. That's especially if you want to lose weight. You don't want too much starch in the morning. As I mentioned before, if you want to lose weight, you do not want any starchy vegetables or bread, for that matter, in the morning or in the night. Eat that for lunch and during the day. But in the morning, you want something light so that your body can start burning those. As you know, carbs are being burned first, and if you eat, obviously, if you eat fat, then that's a different. If you eat oil, that is being transported first into the bloodstream. So that I wanted to say, if you cook with oil, that blood is being absorbed by your cells first, because it just enters the bloodstream first, and then your carbs are entering the bloodstream. Insulin is ejected, and the insulin is acting as a key to get the carbs into the cells, but the oil is, or the fat is there, and the fat blocks the cells more or less. That's how diabetes starts. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but okay, we are good here. This is about how I want it. I'm going to add my herbs to it. Okay. I smell the cumin, I smell the chili powder, and now the parsley and the oregano. Oh, it smells really good. So, can you see? I'm going to serve this either with brown rice or purple potatoes, whatever starchy vegetables you like. You can eat it just on its own. That's fine too. Okay, so let me dish this up. Can you see? A nice portion. I cooked the zucchini quite al dente. I could have cooked it a little bit longer, but that should be okay. Okay, so that's my zucchini stew. Very, very simple, satisfying, and filling. Okay, so now to the star of the evening or the afternoon. I'd like to cook some, like to show you how to do the banana ice cream and warm blueberries. Okay, for that, clean up a little bit. This here. Okay, so obviously I already did the ice cream before, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. This is probably one of the only ice cream which is a one ingredient recipe, and that's the banana, the star of this recipe. Just slice it and put it into a blender. Okay. Okay. That should make about 2 to 3 portions. The great thing is you can eat as much as you want. You don't have to worry about too much sugar, too much that, too much unhealthy food. This is fruit. And in a whole food plant-based lifestyle, you can eat as much fruit and vegetables as you want. There's no calorie counting, and that's the beauty of this. Okay, put it in the food processor. Now I'm going to make a little noise. And I'm going to imitate. And I use both alternating chop and grind to make sure you want to make sure the banana is really, really creamy. And meanwhile, I have to put my pan for the blueberries on the stove. Okay. Okay. The finer or the creamier the ice cream, the banana is, the creamier, obviously, the more beautiful it tastes and it's. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. So that's basically, if you freeze this, it just tastes like ice cream. It is really, really cool. So let's see. I have made my ice cream actually earlier this morning. Look how it looks. It looks like real ice cream. Okay, so, okay. For the warm blueberries, I'd like to use juice of a lemon. I'm making a mess here. I'm going to add a teaspoon of maple syrup to it. I don't know if you heard about this. I'm adding a teaspoon of maple syrup to it. You don't have to. Add just a little bit to it. That's half. Okay. I'm going to add I'm just basically heating it up, and then I add my blueberries to it. Mix it all up. Just let it warm. I don't let the maple syrup caramelize. I'm just heating it up a little bit, just so that the berries are warm and the juice reduces a little bit. Okay. That's enough. Okay. We can obviously use a scooper, so I can use. I misplaced my scooper. There it is. Sorry about that. You see, it just looks like ice cream. Have the blueberries on top. And a little mint on top. Okay, so this is my banana ice cream with warm blueberries. Okay, so very, very simple, and it's all whole foods. All whole foods, and you can dig in, you can eat, you can have it every night, and you don't have to worry that you're addicted to your pint of vanilla ice cream, which is made from milk. You don't even have to use your plant-based ice cream, which has sugar and all this other stuff. This is a star. Okay, it's very, very simple, and I hope you enjoyed this. Do you have any more questions? Please. I have a friend who makes dehydrated kale chips. She covers them in a kind of paste that is flavored in nutritional yeast. Excellent, that's great. I don't know exact recipe, but they're so yeah, absolutely. Nutritional yeast have this cheesy-like flavor, Yankee, or yeah, I don't know how to explain this, but nutritional yeast is brilliant for that. Also, if you're making vegan cheese, nutritional yeast is perfect for that. I've been wanting ice cream for weeks, but I don't like the store ice cream or the store prices. High sugar products. I'm making this today. Excellent, Justin. Great, great. Oh, that looks great. Thank you, Katie. Jean, hi, Jean. Okay, we could only send you food if we could only send food online. Yeah, I'll send it to you. How can I do that? Great, great, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming today. If you have any questions, let me know. I still monitor my answers later on once this live stream is posted. I always look at them, and yeah, it was a pleasure to cook for you. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and let me know if you want to see something else. If you want me to cover any kind of different dish you like to see, please let me know. Put it in the comments. I'll be happy to cook that. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you next week. As usual, Thursdays, 1 o'clock. Thank you so much.